Hello everyone. Today I am going to showcase you how exactly the parallel execution is done. The same mortgage calculator, how to execute the script parallelly. Mortgage app will get executed parallelly. So before that, I'll showcase you how exactly to detect the two devices. Okay, open the command prompt. What exactly you need to say? ADB devices. Okay, can you see this is one of the device and this is another device. Okay, two devices are attached. It's a real device which has been attached. Let me showcase you that. How else I can showcase you? Open the ASM, that is Android screen monitor. This is device 1 which is getting opened. Okay, this is device 1 and the other one is device 2. Okay, let me brief you. Now the app will be executing parallelly. What exactly it happens? App will be executing parallelly. Another important stuff which I need to tell you is I'll show you this at the high level in detail inside the class. Each and everything will be explained beautifully and I'll show you the execution part as well, the configuration part. Today I'll just showcase you the execution part. Okay, now if you closely observe, there is no Eclipse which is open. Eclipse is totally closed. Now you'll be wondering how exactly I'll be executing the code. I'll be executing the code through Jenkins. Okay, I'll show you how exactly the Jenkins configuration is, how exactly the grid configuration. To run the code parallelly between two devices, I need to use something called as APM grid. These two devices, this device is one of the client, this device is another client. I need to register these two clients to a server. What we call in technically is server is called as hub and these clients are called as node. What do we call? Server is called as hub, these two clients are called as node. First I'll configure the APM grid. Secondly, I'll configure Jenkins. Then execute this script in Jenkins. Okay, first and foremost thing, I'll configure the grid. So first I'll start running the batch files. I'll run the previous batch files. Okay, I need to first make the server up and running, that is Selenium grid up and running, or you can call that as APM grid up and running. If you see here, it is up and running. Now what I'll do is I'll show you with respect to the UI. One is through the command prompt, you know the server is up and running. Now what I'm going to do is through the UI part, that is UI part is through your Google Chrome, your server is up. So what exactly I need to do? This device 1 I need to register to the server and this device 2 I need to register to this server. What is these two things called as? It is called as node. Now how exactly I can do it? Go to again batch files. First I'll open device 1. I'll run the batch file of device 1. This will make sure that device 1 is registered to the hub. That is one of the node is registered to the hub. Again I am telling you, even if you are not able to understand, it will be dealt in detail during the sessions. It is just to showcase that how much depth into the subject we get into our sessions. Okay, so we register device 1. Let me refresh it. All the configuration are shown here. Now next thing is which we do is go to this place, register device 2. Register device 2. So once it is registered, where exactly I can see that? In my UI. Okay, if you see here, it is successfully registered. If I refresh it now, where can I see? In my UI. Both the things are registered. Okay, with the port 4567 and 4568. Where else I can know whether it is registered or not? Go to the hub command prompt. Can you see here? Hub is up and running. Node 1 is up and running with 4567 port and this is another device is up and running. This is APM grid configuration. All this what you saw is the APM grid configuration. It means two devices two devices are these two devices are registered to the server, that is APM grid. Two devices are what? Registered to the server of a APM grid. Now the next part is I need to configure Jenkins. Where exactly I execute? I execute in Jenkins. To execute Jenkins, you need to run the war file. Okay, so again, what exactly these war files and all those things are dealt in detail. My war file is stored in D drive. Right click, paste it. I'll be running the Jenkins. Now, what exactly the message will say? Jenkins will is up and running. Okay, once the Jenkins is up and running, where exactly you can see that? Again in the UI part. Again in the UI, you can see the Jenkins part. Okay, let us see here. Can you see the message? Jenkins is fully up and running. So for that, how exactly I can see the UI part? Localhost things, if you type it on the URL place, right, you can see the Jenkins interface page. Jenkins page, you can see that. Okay, this is the Jenkins part. All the jobs are stored in here. Now what I'll do is, can you see any Eclipse is available? There's no Eclipse available, but still I would be able to execute the code. My code has been uploaded through the GitHub and I'm going to execute the code, that is the job which is already been created. Okay, so may underscore demo is my job which is already created. I'm clicking on that. All this in detail anyway I'll be explaining you. I need to execute now. How do I execute? I need to click on build now. If I click on build now, you can see in both the device it will start executing the code. So shall I start, guys? What I'll do is I'll click on build now. This is the output. Click on here, console output. Okay, first it will clear the things. It will clean, make the directory, copy. Now you will get the message executing in device 1 and executing in device 2. Okay, if you see here, the execution is going to happen parallelly. Can you see the message here? It is executing in device 1 and device 2. Now the app should get initiated in both the devices. Can you see in device 1 the app is initiated? Can you see in device 2 app is initiated? Now it should execute parallelly. That is, it should enter 10,000 in device 1. It should enter 10,000 in device 2. From where exactly we are executing? We are executing this through our Jenkins. Okay, both the things are happening parallelly. This is called as parallel execution. Very important when you go to any interview. The first thing they ask is, do you know the parallel execution? Do you know the sequential execution? Do you know something about the grid? Do you know JSON files? Can you see here the result is both the things got executed? The result is pass, again it is pass. So what all things we are using? We are going to use the and build and build.xml and all those things. Everything in detail you will know when we are starting this parallel execution inside our sessions. Not only the parallel executions, you will be learning the framework development. You will get only the test case sheet from your manager. From the test case sheet, how exactly to design the framework. It is close to 400 to 500 lines of code, guys, which we will be designing the framework in front of you. We will be using something called as latest technology, that is page object model, that is page factory is used. Okay, if you go and say in the interview, okay, I know page object model, I know page factory, you are hot in the market. Okay, so we will be getting in detail with respect to all the concepts. We will be starting with the basics and the Java concepts which is required for the mobile app, and parallel execution we'll be learning Android apps, iOS apps, and then the parallel executions and the framework design. Okay, thank you so much guys, have a nice day.